In the heart of Egypt's revolution, one name stood tall: Dr. Mohamed Morsi. A scholar, engineer, and the first democratically elected president of Egypt, he symbolized hope and change for millions. Mohamed Morsi was a prominent leader of the Freedom and Justice Party, which was the political wing of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. The Muslim Brotherhood, a significant and influential organization in Egypt, had long been involved in the country's political landscape. The Freedom and Justice Party, under Morsi's leadership, aimed to bring about substantial changes in the governance of Egypt. The FJP stood for Islamic values, social justice, and a vision to empower the people through democracy and reform. They sought to address the socio-economic issues that plagued the nation and to provide a voice for the marginalized. Their platform included a commitment to democratic principles, aiming to ensure that every citizen had a say in the political process. They believed in the power of reform to create a more just and equitable society, where the rights and freedoms of all individuals were respected and upheld. During his presidency, he worked tirelessly to rebuild Egypt, fighting corruption, improving the economy, and striving to create a more inclusive society. Morsi's administration focused on addressing the needs of the people, ensuring that the voices of the marginalized were heard and respected. He implemented policies aimed at reducing poverty and unemployment, and worked on enhancing the country's infrastructure. He was a strong advocate for freedom and dignity, often emphasizing the importance of human rights and social justice in his speeches. Morsi's vision was to create a society where every individual could live with respect and opportunity. His efforts reflected the FJP's aim to unite the Muslim Ummah and restore Egypt's pride. Morsi believed in the power of unity and collaboration, working closely with various community leaders and organizations to foster a sense of national solidarity. His presidency was marked by a commitment to cultural enrichment and social cohesion, aiming to build a brighter future for all Egyptians. But this progress was met with brutal resistance. The streets of Egypt became battlegrounds, with protesters clashing violently with police forces. The military crackdown on civilians was relentless, and the scenes of violent street protests painted a grim picture of the nation's turmoil. In 2013, a military coup toppled his government. The Egyptian military vehicles rolled through the streets, asserting their dominance. Soldiers took control of government buildings, and the scenes of the military coup were broadcasted worldwide, shocking the international community. Morsi was unjustly imprisoned under inhumane conditions, facing a trial that many deemed unfair. Images of him in the courtroom, behind bars, and in a prison cell became symbols of the struggle for justice in Egypt. While the Egyptian people faced oppression, their cries for freedom echoed through the streets. Scenes of Egyptian oppression were rampant, with people showing signs of distress and despair. The hope that once filled the air was now replaced with fear and uncertainty. Stripped of their hard-won freedoms, the Egyptian people continued to protest for their rights. They held signs demanding freedom, but the police were quick to suppress these protests. The struggle for freedom was far from over, and the people's resilience was put to the test. Despite it all, he stood firm for truth and justice. Mohamed Morsi, even in the face of adversity, continued to speak passionately in court and address his supporters. His unwavering commitment to his principles inspired many, even as he faced insurmountable challenges. Until his tragic death in 2019, the news of his passing sent shockwaves through the nation. The Egyptian people mourned deeply, and his funeral procession was a somber reminder of the cost of their struggle. His legacy, however, continues to inspire those who fight for justice and freedom. Morsi's courage and vision live on, inspiring millions to stand against oppression and fight for freedom. His legacy is a reminder that justice always has a voice. Subscribe to our channel for more stories about leaders who shaped history and stood for what's right. Let's honor their sacrifices together.